I was gonna clean my room, but then I got high. Ooh, what's happening? I was gonna finish my website, but then I got high. Ow! The camera can't even see you. Ooh. Don't worry, I'm not actually high. I just really like that song. So we're going to call these little chit chats bedtime weirdos. Why? I don't know. The name just came to me. And I thought, 1, you're a weirdo. 2, you more than likely have a fucked up bedtime, whether that means you go to bed too late, too early, or you don't sleep. And we just love our beds. It's a good spot to be intimate. And like not in that way, but also in that way. But I mean, it's where a lot of important conversations happen. So I'm just going to do it on camera. So welcome to my bed. It's white, it's cute. Actually, if you look really close, it's orange because your girl loves her spray tans. There was a time, an entire week ago, where I was turning to my vices, and the ganj was definitely one of them, but I'm trying to get better with that. So, been talking to my psychiatrist, my therapist. I've been dealing with crazy mental health flare-ups, including insomnia, which I think will be an entire another episode about my mental health. But today, this morning, we're going to be talking about my health journey, my physical health journey, and my disordered past. So I'm telling you now, trigger warning, I will be showing some photos of probably an emancipated Sophie. So definitely triggering photos coming. If this is not the time for you to watch a video regarding someone's dealing with an eating disorder, disordered eating in the past, it's fine. I'll be back. My Bedtime Weirdo series is going to be all types of videos with guests, without guests, myself. And again, this is just a part of the YouTube channel. I'm planning to do a lot of the day in the life vlogs as well, but I wanted to be able to make some longer form content. 1, because it helps with the algorithm, but 2, I always loved having conversations. I still love having conversations, and I think it's a fun way to mentally check in with myself. It's like a therapy session, really. But this week, I'm focusing on my health journey, my physical health journey. Like I said, trigger warning, I'm also not a registered dietitian or a doctor. This is my experience. These are my personal opinions, my personal story. So I hope you guys enjoy, but I feel like I need to sit up for this one, and I'm actually probably going to record this tomorrow if I'm being real with you. Hey babe, I know you're working at all, but can you be quiet? Thank you. Let's get weird. Let's get into it. So before we do this, I feel like we just need to take a moment to take this out though. Oh wait, I literally have to have a Diet Coke when I do this. Like whenever we record the podcast, whenever I'm doing anything with the camera, I just feel like I have to sippy on something. Where my anxiety girlies at? Caffeine free. Oh. Go get one. You know you want one. Pause, come back. Oh wow. So, the past week has been crazy, nothing less. I do like to record these kind of timely with my life so we can all keep up. I will probably have some sort of topic each week, but I'll also kind of run through what happened the past week with these little bedtime weirdo chats. So, the past week, our last podcast episode went live. I launched the first YouTube video, which was fun, which is crazy. Thank you guys all for subscribing. If you have friends who haven't yet subscribed and who miss a little bit of my voice and want to hear more from me, let them know about the YouTube channel, have them subscribe, tell them they can take this little video on a walk with them, because I'm chit-chatting with you. I went out the past weekend, and I haven't gone out in a long time, as in drinking, mostly because obviously there are other things to be dealt with. There are other concerns to be had. All of a sudden, feeling this weight lifted off my shoulders, I felt like kind of free again. I felt I was able to pursue my own passions, and I felt a little bit lighter. I felt mentally better, which makes me want to be more social. So I was like, I really feel like going out. So get this, not only did I go out one night, I went out 2 nights. What? Who am I? This is not heard of. So I was shocked with myself. I was really proud of myself. And when I do feel like being social, I'm going to take advantage of it, and I will go. I decided I wanted a little zoomier. Do we like this better? I still want it closer. Get up my nostrils, like get up there, you know? I went with a lot of freckles today because I have a huge zit here and my face is breaking out. So like pro tip is I just like cover my face with freckles and dots, because is it a zit or is it a freckle? Or is it makeup freckle? Probably makeup freckle, but I don't care. People used to think it's weird, and I'm like, I wish I gave a fuck what you thought, but that's the funny thing. I don't really know what I'm doing. We're gonna get Pat in here for some of them too. I got another microphone. Literally, it's right here. My other mic came in the mail, but yeah, I forgot the actual XLR cord with it. So there's currently no way for them to join in. But I would love Pat to jump in here and share his experience later with his health journey, because it is a lot different than mine, but it's kind of same in a similar way. It's same in a similar way. What? It's interesting the ways we both dealt with our experience and our disordered thoughts. So I'll eventually have him pop in here too. But what was I talking about? This is really hard to do on your own, because I feel like I say something, I jump around, and then I don't have anyone to keep me on track. Okay, well, even though I probably didn't finish my thought because I don't remember what I was saying, we're going to get into the actual topic. I remember. Took me 8 years. I need something to like take notes. I went out Friday. I went to a friend's birthday party. It was really fun. We were at the Hewing. If you're in Minneapolis and you go to the Hewing, literally right now they have this like spritz drink that had tequila in it, and it was the most amazing drink I've ever had. I had 2 of them, and since I don't drink a lot, I was literally toasted. I don't know what happened. I originally wanted Pat to come with me to this birthday party, but I was like, you know what? He doesn't know her as much as I do. I should just go by myself. And it was like, showing up to parties by yourself is like so awkward. It's actually so much fun. I'm so glad I went by myself. Yes, there's like an initial, maybe 3 minutes where like, this is a little awkward. Like you say hi to everyone, but I'm going to be honest. Like I am someone who, when I'm with like a group of people, as weird as it is and cheesy as it is, I'm like literally like, hey guys, we should do an icebreaker. Like, okay, now that I say it out loud, that's so fucking cheesy. Did I even say that? I said something like, can we do introductions? I don't know anyone. And I kind of like said it kind of jokingly, but then everyone did it and it was really nice. And then that sparked up conversation. And then all of a sudden you're talking to new people, and it was really cool to make some like new connections. And I think Minneapolis, if you are local in Minneapolis, I do feel like there are like little groups and cliques. And I know a lot of people think that it's like impossible to make friends in Minneapolis. At least that's what I've heard, but it's really not if you do your best to put yourself out there and put yourself in those situations. Yes, it's nice to have like an outgoing personality, but I'll tell you right now, I'm not always outgoing. Like if you see me during the week and I'm focused, like I'm really introverted during the week and honestly most weekends, but when I feel the mental capacity to go do something, I do it and I take advantage of it. And I take advantage of that moment and I actually talk to people and I get out of my comfort zone. So if you ever get that like urge, fucking do it. And yeah, I ended up having a great time on Friday night. Here is the story with Saturday night. So I decided I'm going to look like a slut tonight. No, but kind of. I was like, I'm wearing a push-up bra. I got no titties, but I'm going to make it look like I got titties. I got these cute Fashion Nova pants. Everyone was asking where they're from. No, Fashion Nova top and Princess Polly pants, I believe. I linked them in my like to know it because everyone was like, where are those cargo from? Where are those cargos from? So cute. The outfit was slay. I'll show you right here. So I decided I'm going to look like a slut and I'm going to look so good. So I'm going to do my nails too, because my nails are always... Y'all, we got anxiety. Where else? Who else is out there just picking out their nails, picking out their cuticles? This is the best they're ever going to get. They actually, oh my God. I was going to say they actually look really good in the nails I showed you. You guys, look at this. I went to Target and I decided since I'm going to be a slut tonight, I feel like you need to have like the cunt nails where like your nails are really long and pointed and almondy and like not just like, excuse me. Not just like the short almond ones. I need like the long witch nails because I wanted to walk around like this. Like I'm a slut. I'm a bitch. Come at me. That's what I wanted to do. Okay. That's what I wanted to do. I got the nails from Target. I didn't get them done because I knew they wouldn't last me more than a day. So I stuck them on my nails. I used to be like a Smack Shack type of girl. I would go hang out there because like you wanted to be where like the in people were. When you go out, you want to be seen. At least that's how what I used to do when I wanted to go out, was like, I'm going to go to the bars where the cool people are, where the it people are, where I can show off my outfit, where I can like, walk around, get a drink and talk to people that I haven't seen in a bit and let them know I'm doing well. And it was so weird. That night we went to Smack Shack and we walked in and I was like with my like good friends. We were laughing. We're having a great time. And half of my guy friends are gay. So they're like, we're going to Jet Set. And I get in a Smack Shack and all my gay friends are gone. And I'm like, I want to be with my friends. I don't want to be at the Smack Shack. So it's so funny because there was a moment there where I was like, I don't like this anymore. Like I was drunk. I wanted to be goofy. I wanted to be weird. I wanted to dance like a slut. I can't do that at Smack Shack. Immediately, literally 5 minutes after pulling up to Smack Shack, we bounced and we went to Jet Set, a gay bar close to my house. And it was probably the most fun I've had in, I hate to say like a year, but I have been so antisocial and I have been so reserved and so focused and so stressed. Honestly, there was a huge weight on my shoulders for something that I was holding on to that I didn't want to hold on to anymore. And it was like, I was like dancing off my baggage, it felt like. And there's a moment that night where I also just like belly laughed so hard. And I'm going to tell you now, like I had 4 drinks, I think. And every shot that someone offered me, I threw over my shoulder or I chucked in another glass, or I literally stacked it on top of the already done shot glasses. I fake shots all the time. So if you get me a shot, there's probably 100% chance I'm not taking it, but I fake it. So thank you. Yes, I was a little bit buzzed, but I had a moment where I just laughed so hard. And it felt so good to laugh that hard. And like, it just reminded me how important like friendships and relationships are. I feel like I've let that part of me be on the back burner the past 3 years. And I'm no longer doing that. Like I just booked a trip to see my friend Vanessa, one of my best friends in Denver. And I'm actually heading there this weekend. So next episode, I hope to do a little bit of B-roll and content and recap my whole Denver trip and talk about hiking and camping and stories with my best friend. And I hope it'll be fun and funny. Even though it was, one of those drunk night outs, it was equally heartwarming. So I get home with these long nails on. They're still on. I'm still feeling like a bad bitch cunt. I'm like, work. So I walk in and I knew I was going to have issues taking my contacts out. I just knew it. I had a feeling this was not going to work very well. So I told Pat before I left that night, I said, he's already in bed, by the way. He's been sleeping for like 3 hours. I forgot to mention Pat was not there. He did stay out till like 9:30, I think, which is really good for him. This is our life. This is why we're bedtime weirdos, okay? I'm like, there's no way I'm taking these contacts out. Absolutely no way. But I tried nothing less because I thought I shouldn't wake him unless I need to. So I'm trying for like 5 minutes. I have all the clips. I'm trying to film this on my Sony camera while I'm like buzzed and I cannot get my contacts out. So I set my camera down and I straddle Pat right here. And I'm like leaning over him. He's sleeping. And I'm like, take my contacts out. I'm like trying to hold open my eyes. And he's like looking up and he's trying to pull them out of my eyes. I felt so bad. And he tried to get my contacts out for a good 10 minutes. Poor guy couldn't do it. So I clipped my nails. Here's a picture. How cute is that? But you know what? I can still be a bad bitch without them. And you can too. Okay? Just keep that in mind. So now on to what I was actually going to talk about today. I just love a little recap. I think recaps are fun. My health journey and honestly why I started my career. You wanna know what's funny is I stare out the window at a Veda Art Institute and I see all the little hair ladies. I don't know why hair ladies is so funny. All the little hair ladies come out of a Veda for like their lunch breaks and they're all in their little black and they all have like pink hair, like blonde hair, like chopped hair, like pixie cuts. They're just so fun. And then they're in the Lens and Byerly's. I shouldn't say where I live. You don't know what apartment. Okay, whatever. Moving on. I'm just going to start from like what I can remember. In high school, I was already naturally pretty fit. I was in sports. I really didn't hit puberty until way later. So like also weight gain for me was really hard back in the day. Like my mom cooked healthy meals. I was really lucky to have a mom who would make me breakfast, cook me dinner, and she was an overall like healthy cook. She would make like very culturally diverse dinners. Like I was never picky. I loved everything. Yeah, so I never dealt with anything in high school. I was in soccer, and during halftime, I would get hungry, even if I just ate before and I would eat after. At halftime, I would like need something. And every halftime, I would love to snack on potato chips. Why? Obviously not the healthiest food to have mid-soccer game, but I needed something like salty and I needed like quick carbs or something. And I just knew I loved potato chips at halftime. Just as an example of like, I literally couldn't have cared less. I get to college, my first semester, and I notice, oh, I'm drinking, I'm having fun. I'm literally still trying to eat potato chips, but this time it's not in the middle of a soccer game. It's like in the middle of class. I'm like, oh, I just had breakfast. And even though I had like hash browns, pancakes, omelet, and like a smoothie, I'm going to quick have these potato chips before my lunch. And I'm going to have my burger bar at the cafeteria. And I'm going to go get this piece of cake from my friend who made it because it's her birthday. And I'm going to go out, I'm going to binge streak, and then I'm going to have some Toppers pizza at night with some breadsticks. And okay, sure, I did notice a little bit of weight gain. And halfway through that semester, my freshman year, I noticed, I looked a little different. I was still naturally in a smaller body. I noticed I looked a little fluffier. Halfway through the semester, there was also I transferred back to University of St. Thomas. My first semester, I was at University of Iowa. I transferred back to University of St. Thomas, and they had what's called a J term. So there was this big term before they started, the next all January they took off, and that's when I was transferring. So I had the whole month of January off, and I was home before I transferred to University of St. Thomas. And I remember thinking okay, I'm just going to get really fit in this month, and so I can go into the year feeling a little fitter, feeling good about myself, make friends, look good, feel good. And I went into that January J term, and I kind of got a little obsessive. I remember I had a boyfriend who also tracked his calories, and he wasn't eating that much. And as a big dude, I was like, okay, I should probably be eating less than that. I started tracking my calories, and I wasn't lifting really. I definitely lifted. I knew building muscle was important still, but I would do more of HIIT workouts that included rounds of lunges, rounds of bicep curls, but I don't do what I do today, which is a 4 or 5 day split where it's all isolation exercises. So I did these kind of crazier workouts with 400-meter runs and circuits and things like that. And I lost a little bit of weight in that January because I was, wow, this is so fun. I can lose weight by maybe not having all my hash browns at breakfast. I can lose weight by going for an extra run in the day. That's awesome. And then this is what happens to everyone at the beginning of their fat loss journey. This is great. Let's keep going. And then you try to keep going and keep going. And I kept going. I went past where I should have been, especially for someone who was already in my smaller body. So I never, trigger warning, like I said before, I'm about to say calorie numbers. I never ate below 1,300 calories. But for my workouts and my body and my metabolism at the time, that was not enough. I'm about to show some pictures. Trigger warning. Again, this was kind of when it started, right after the first semester. And then it just started to get progressively worse. Some of these are just I remember thinking oh, I could still do more. This isn't enough. This isn't enough. And I remember one particular day, I wonder if I can find the photo, where I had a pool party to go to. And I thought about that pool party all week, and I tried to eat just 100% on my calorie goal. I made sure I didn't miss a workout coming up to this pool party because there was no fucking way I was going to go to this pool party looking bloated at all. I wanted my six-pack out. I wanted to look strong. And what's funny is this is not looking strong. This is looking sick, right? There's a difference between looking strong, looking sick. It's just so weird to look back on. All I thought about that whole day was what I looked like in a swimsuit. I don't remember anything else from that day. Literally, I don't remember one other situation. So it got to the point where I was definitely restricting myself. Ideas, like my entire thoughts revolved around food. All I thought about was, when is my next meal? What am I going to have for my next meal? My Instagram was just all food. Like everything was food. I was obsessed with food. I was a foodie. I wanted to start this little spoon university on campus at University of St. Thomas because I thought about food all the time. Everything was food. I was like, I'm going to major in public health. I want to study nutrition. So I minored in nutrition. And if you know someone in your life, or for example, when Pat did his bodybuilding show, because he was in prep, if you're in prep for any bodybuilding competition, you know your Instagram changes from like big muscle people and like lifts to food. Because somehow your algorithm knows you're clicking on food. Your mind is consumed by food. I used to consider myself a foodie. I wanted to go out to eat all the time. And now I'm like, I would go out to eat. I'd stay in. Like I used to want to make an Instagram account that was like restaurants in Minneapolis. I'm a foodie in Minneapolis, which is awesome if you want to do that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I was doing it for the wrong reasons, right? And now I'm like, yeah, like I love going out to eat. It's fun. I don't like need to do it every week. I don't, constantly look up new restaurants to go to and plan for my whole week to eat this one meal out at a restaurant. Like I literally, if I go out to eat now, it's like, oh, Pat's like, hey, do you want to go to get sushi? I'm like, sure, let's go. I don't have to plan ahead. And I'm going to talk about how this has all changed in a moment. But I guess I'm starting with, the disordered thoughts, disordered eating. One second. People say I drink weird. Was that weird? I don't know. I like to take small gulps because I have to like swish it around a little. Anyone else? This is really hard. I'm losing track where I'm at. This is still freshman year of college. My mom came to visit me. My sister came to visit me. I'd get comments like, you're like really small. Like, what'd you do? You lost a lot of weight. And I was just like, oh, I just work out. Like I eat a lot. I just must have a fast metabolism, which is literally the opposite of what was happening. I was constantly fucking up my metabolism and my metabolic flexibility by continuing to try a fat loss diet that is longer than 12 weeks, but it's fine. There's this one instance when I was trying on clothes and I thought, I do look a little thin. Do I look sick? Do I look a little ill? Nah, I don't look ill. I thought, nah, it's nothing. I went home for, I think it was Christmas break. What kind of changed, I think for me, was over that Christmas break. I remember my dad sitting me down and he was like, Sophie, you look sick. And I was like, do I? I was like, do I really? And then I got really self-conscious. I wouldn't want my shoulders to show because my shoulders were like really bony. So I would always wear like sweatshirts or like a zip up hoodie or like a little cardigan over any tank top. Even if I was in a swimsuit, I would put like a flannel on over the swimsuit. That used to be cool. And then it was like the opposite issue where I just was trying to gain weight. And that led to a lot of binging and loss of control. And this is not like binging in terms of like, oh, you overate, like you accidentally had an extra slice of pizza. This is like, binging is like you eat a whole pizza. Binging is like you eat an entire tub of ice cream. There's this one night I remember in freshman year of college, it was a girls' night. We made one big slab of cookie dough and we just press it down into one big cookie and we had 2 tubs of ice cream and it was 5 girls. Okay. And we were sitting on the floor. Like, this is what I remember of freshman year, which is so fucked up. Like, this is what I remember out of the girls' night, is eating this ice cream, eating this cookie dough. Everyone else is like, okay, I've had enough. Like, I'm full, not even full, but they're like, I'm satisfied, right? I've got the taste. I think it tastes good. I enjoyed it. They're mindfully eating. And I just kept going. I kept going. I probably finished an entire tub of ice cream myself and finished the cookie dough. And I remember going to bed just like in pain. I've never like purged. This is all within, what's crazy is this is all within 1 year. Isn't that weird? So I started slowly gaining weight back, and I noticed that my binges subsided as I started to gain weight and I started to eat more consistently. I also read the book Intuitive Eating. I'll put a picture here because I forget the authors. There's 2 authors, and I really, really resonated with this book. I think it was kind of the line between therapy and actually like getting help. I will say, did figure it out on my own. Like once I realized I looked sick, I was like, I'm gonna take this into my own hands. I probably could have done it in a more systematic way, but it was a lot of binging. What's crazy is I went through 4 years of letting myself eat whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted, for things to normalize again. And in that 4 years, I noticed my digestion got better. I used to think I had really bad IBS. I used to think I needed to get a colonoscopy, which I did. If you're someone who thinks you need a colonoscopy and you're also maybe under eating, there's probably a connection. Did you know for your digestion to work, it has to practice. It has to know what it's doing. So it has to know, like, I'm going to get breakfast, I'm going to get lunch, I'm going to get dinner. I have a lot of thoughts on like cutting food groups out and etc. in Whole30s, but we'll get into that a whole nother episode. Shocker, my colonoscopy came back and everything was fine. Okay, so now I'm like 1 year out of college and I feel like I have found balance again in food and fitness. I was also in a really happy relationship where I knew my value wasn't in my body at the time, which was really refreshing and nice. I wasn't doing anything for weight loss, honestly, at this point. I wasn't restricting and I wasn't binging, and I was really comfortable around food again, which is such a freeing feeling. And since I'd been through everything, I wanted to know how to do it the right way. And I wanted to build muscle the right way. I wanted to lose weight the right way. And it all started with not me trying to lose weight. I was just trying to build muscle, and I noticed crazy things happening. And I was like, do other people know about this? Do other people know that you actually don't have to over exercise and under eat to get results? Do other people know this? Like, is that what? And so then I'm like, I want to help other women. So I got certified personal trainer through NASM. And I wanted my precision nutrition certification just because you can help more with the fitness side of nutrition. Obviously, this is in addition to public health and nutrition in college, and I learned more about reverse dieting. A lot of girls have asked me, and people that are looking to be personal trainers or even help with nutrition side of training have asked me where you learned the things. And I'm going to be honest, precision nutrition was great. It didn't really talk about much about like maintenance phases, cutting phases, reverse diets, bulking, things like that. I didn't learn that in college either. I wonder what nutrition curriculum looks like now, because I would be so interested to see if they put in more knowledge on like metabolic flexibility and how weightlifting can really help with that, and how reverse dieting can really help with that, and the importance of going into a maintenance phase after a cutting phase. I'm just so curious, and I really hope that nutrition curriculum for not only doctors, but anyone getting degrees in nutrition, I really hope that they start to incorporate things like that, because it was life-changing to learn about that. And personally, I actually learned about it through the bodybuilding world. I'm not a bodybuilder. I have a lot of thoughts on bodybuilding. My boyfriend's a bodybuilder. Me, as a female who struggles with anxiety, sleep, mental health, still occasional digestion issues, bodybuilding is hard. And if anyone has had a past with disordered eating, you have to be like, I want to say like years and years out of it. And I feel like mentally, food wise, I could do it, but because of my anxiety, my sleep, I don't think I could do it, because you lose sleep, your digestion is fucked, you get really sad, you get like your life is really revolved around food again. And I would be afraid I'd revert back to disordered thoughts. So as of now, I'm still saying no to a bodybuilding show, but it's not to say I won't ever do one. I think it could be fun to push myself if my mental health and stress gets clearer and I can regulate my sleep a little bit more. I have insomnia stuff, so we'll talk about that later. I will do a whole other YouTube video about cutting phases, reverse diets, maintenance. So that's kind of why I started Basil by Soph, to be honest. I'd been working with clients for years, but I just wanted to kind of rename it and rebrand it. And that's why it's called Basil. Basil stands for base. Basil also stands for basal metabolic rate, which is your BMR, which is your, calories you burn at rest, which you can actually increase your BMR slightly And you can also find the upper range of your maintenance calories by building muscle and by slowly, gradually, systematically eating a little bit more food. But reverse dieting and building up my calories actually is what saved me, really. Yes, I went through the whole like binging, which obviously built up my calories. But when I did it a second time, reverse dieting, actually with a coach, oh my God, it was the most amazing thing I've ever done in my life, because I was so used to eating like, okay, 1,700 calories, 1,500 calories. I got up to 2,500 calories. And let me tell you, when you're eating 2,500 calories as a female, you feel like you're eating a lot, and you don't go to bed thinking, oh, I wish I could have a slice of pizza. You go to bed thinking, oh my God, I'm kind of full. Like, I feel really satisfied right now. My stomach feels all warm and fuzzy. I feel great. You're not thinking about food. Your Instagram is not full of food pics because you are literally not obsessed with food, because you are eating enough food. And this isn't to say you're going to be gaining weight if you slowly and systematically build your calories up to that 2,500 or whatever calorie range you're at for your upper maintenance. And sitting at that maintenance range for a while in the same body you're already in while doing a lifting routine, oh my God, it's amazing. It's literally the best time to put on muscle. And that is the only way you're going to put on muscle. You can't put on muscle when you're in a deficit, at least for most people, I would say. There is something called newbie gains, where if you haven't really lifted before and you're in a deficit, you could technically build muscle while you're in a deficit, but it doesn't happen. Yes, maybe gradually over a couple years, you can do a body recomp. But if you want the best bang for your buck, you alternate between those reverse diet maintenance and cutting phases. And you want to be in that reverse diet maintenance phase for as long as you were in your cutting phase or more. Even better if you were in it longer. Okay, I think we should bring Pat on to see if he has any thoughts. Patrick! Pat!
Yeah.
Come here. Come here. Could you hear me?
No.
Yeah, you could. Were you listening the whole time? It's so hard to do it by yourself. No, it was not good. No one can hear right now because you need to talk on this microphone. But no, it's so hard to do it by yourself because I was losing track. I was losing track of like where I was at in my brain. That doesn't work.
I know.
But do you know what listen first.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Where I'm like, I have a thought and then I sit here and then I forgot what I was talking about. And then I'm like, I don't even know if it's going to make sense when I put it all together.
Well, you can just edit it out, right?
I hope I can edit it. Yeah. Okay. So scoot in here. Come under my blankie because you're. I know it's fun. Get under here. You're my little bedtime weirdo, babe.
Such a bedtime weirdo.
What'd you say? I think we might need to switch.
I tooted.
I think we might need to switch spots.
Why? No.
Because they can't see you.
No, they can see me.
Come here.
Oh.
Okay. Oh gosh. Whoa. What's happening? Ew. Babe. You're gonna ruin my microphone. Hold on. Let me. Okay. So I just explained my health story. I hope it made sense because I was all over the fucking place. But I just explained like how I dealt with disordered eating and how I went through a period where I was really restricting, and then I went through binging, and then I did it the healthy way, and then I did my first reverse diet, and then I went into maintenance and I built muscle, and it literally fixed my relationship with food. But for me, I also talked about how bodybuilding would be hard for me. I'd be afraid I'd revert back to disordered eating thoughts. I'd be afraid I'd binge after and it would trigger some things. But I know you are a bodybuilder and you have thoughts about how it actually helped your relationship with your body and your food.
Wow, I'm so unprepared for this right now. And now here we are. Okay, can you ask me like more specific questions maybe?
You have to hold the microphone way up. Well, how do you rationalize bodybuilding if you've dealt with body image issues in the past?
I think for me, in my life, the things that I struggle with are like making decisions, and like I get in these little like mental loops when I have to make decisions. So I feel like usually when I'm trying to deal with an issue that I'm having mentally, I try to just somehow take the decision making out of it. So I do really well with like hard rules on stuff, which is probably not good advice for a lot of people. But I guess with the bodybuilding thing particularly, like when I was having kind of issues around my body image or my eating, like having someone else look at that. So like I have a coach for bodybuilding, and he just like tells me what to eat. I know he's gonna like have my best interest in mind with that, and so I just don't even think about it. Like I don't get my emotions involved. So yeah, it's really hard, and it's like that. I think that's why so many people have issues with it, is because it is such an emotional thing, with eating and with viewing yourself and looking in the mirror, and especially when you like put in the societal standards and like the attraction and the sexual stuff that's around your body. Like it's very emotional and it's very complicated. But yeah, for me anyways, and maybe there are other people out there like this too, where just having someone else deal with it, not having to think about it, that helped me. And it was a little bit of a process too. It's not like day one, like someone tells you your meal plan or your macros or whatever, and like that's good, like I just don't think about it anymore. But kind of slowly over time, like I just got used to it, and like I know I have my goals for the sport of bodybuilding. I used air quotations because flexing in your underwear is loosely a sport at best, but anywho, yeah, I think that the goals for that, like he knows what I need to do to reach those goals, and that's good enough for me.
Awesome.
Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you, babe.
Yeah.
Now leave.
Thanks, everyone. Bye now. Maybe edit that to make me seem less dumb.
You didn't seem dumb at all. Okay, babe, walk. Yeah, okay. Ow! The camera can't even see you. He just tried to sexy crawl over me like a cat on his way out, on his departure. Bye. Thanks. So I really liked what he said about how it was just like he let someone else worry about it, because I feel like some of the girls that I work with that are my niche type of girl to work with for the basal method one-on-one, which are my one-on-one clients that sign on for 6 months, are girls that are kind of afraid to go through that reverse diet process because they're too afraid to eat more. And a lot of times I say stuff very similar to what Pat was saying he does with his coach, is like, I say, I will deal with and worry for you about what you're eating, and you send me your biofeedback weekly, and I'll do the worrying, and I'll make sure you're not gonna blow up, obviously, because you're eating more food. Like, we're doing this to actually make your metabolism healthier, make you more metabolically flexible, make you more insulin resistant, make you, just a better version of yourself. So I love that he says that someone else can do the worrying for you. And I wish I would have had that, honestly. So this is the service that I'm providing. And that's what the Basal Method 101 is all about. You go through these 3 phases. First, you're going to start with that, that reverse diet to get you up to those higher calories. We sit in a little maintenance phase for a moment. We build some muscle, and then you can go through a cutting phase. If you desire, you don't have to go through a cutting phase. Maybe you eat more and you build muscle and you're like, oh my God, I look great. Because a lot of times people who go through reverse diet phases, you might gain weight, you might lose weight, you might stay the same weight. But when you gain weight, it's not going to be drastic. It is honestly usually not noticeable, and you might even look better because you look tighter and you have more muscle. I also want to talk about how Pat talked about the emotion behind food. I feel like I've had a male coach in the past, and I'm not saying all men coaches are like this, but for me, if someone tells me that I can't eat peanut butter, I'm going to want to take that peanut butter and I'm going to want to slather it all over my body and up my vagina hole. I want it so bad. So that's all I'm saying is I think there's a lot more psychological things that go on when it comes to food, especially with women, with restricting, with trying to hold your calories up for one meal. And I understand that, and I feel you, and I see you, and I've been there, and it's an exhausting cycle to be in. So if you are struggling, obviously, We always recommend getting professional help, therapy, an eating disorder specialist. If you're someone who feels that you are ready for something different, you feel a little bit more in line with like my basal method one-on-one, or you want to get into more weightlifting, obviously you can check out my website and all that. DM me with any questions. But yeah, that is all I got for this episode, you guys. I don't know if I'm going to call them episodes or not. I don't know what they are. This is going to be a series of the bedtime weirdos, but I don't know if we're going to call them episodes or what. We'll figure that out. But if you have any ideas on topics or what more you want me to talk about, please comment below. And I'm going to make sure our next episode, whatever we call it, is a little more lighthearted and fun. I just thought this was a good way to start off the wellness side of my YouTube channel. So hope you guys enjoy and see you next week. Bye.